From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that works very well, that microphone. Dr. and Mrs. Billington, Buffet K. Fritz, members of Congress, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and sponsors, my name is Michael Feinstein, and it is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies and welcome you to the Members Room of the historic Jefferson Building for a celebration of the music of an iconic American singer-songwriter and Long Island's own piano man, the wonderful recipient of the Library of Congress's Gershwin Prize in Popular Song, Mr. Billy Joel. Today's luncheon officially kicks off a celebration of the enduring legacy of Billy's timeless music and rich lyrical narratives. Billy, it was the New York Times about 10 years ago, I think it was Stephen Holden, who described you as the Irving Berlin of our generation. And for me and for all of us in this room, we certainly feel and know that to be true. Your music is the soundtrack of all of our lives, and we bless you for your talent and for your humanity. Thank you for being with us today. For more than 5 decades, Billy's music has inspired more than 20, I beg your pardon, for more than 5 decades, Billy's music has inspired countless musicians and performers everywhere, including 25 members of one of the oldest and few remaining workplace chorales in America, the Library of Congress Choral. They are under the direction of Nicholas Brown, and they are going to perform Billy's 1984 doo-wop classic, The Longest Time. Ladies and gentlemen, the Library of Congress Choral.
Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest. If you said goodbye to me tonight, there would still be music left to write. What else would I do? I'm so inspired by you. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Once I thought my innocence was gone. Now I know that happiness goes on. That's where you found me when you put your arms around me. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for that longest. I'm that voice you're hearing in the hall, and the greatest miracle of all is how I need you and how you needed me too. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Maybe this won't last very long, but you feel so right and I could be wrong. Maybe I've been hoping too hard, but I've gone this far and it's more than I hoped for. Who knows how much much further we'll go on. Maybe I'll be sorry when you're gone. I'll take my chances. I forgot our nice romances. I hasn't been there for the longest time. I had second thoughts at the start. I said to myself, hold on to your heart. Now I know the woman that you are. You're wonderful so far, and it's more than I hoped for. I don't care what consequence it brings. I have been a fool for lesser things. I want you so bad. I think that I intend to hold you for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time.
Well, now we know that for the next many weeks, echoing through the halls of the Library of Congress, the employees will be going, whoa, which is going to do a great deal for the morale. Ladies and gentlemen, one more hand for the Library of Congress chorale. Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention? We're going to have our brief presentation before the entrees are served at this time. Dr. Billington's goal for the library's Gershwin Prize always has been to challenge his staff to make the prize more than just another entertainment portal. For Dr. Billington, this prize must rise to the level of a national congressional honor. So there remains no doubt that the importance of popular song is supreme for us, for our American culture, and for the world. And nothing has demonstrated that commitment more than to have members of Congress actively participate in today's luncheon. So please welcome to the podium Mississippi's 3rd District and Chairman of the Joint Committee on the Library of Congress for the 113th Congress, Congressman Gregg Harper.
Thank you, Michael, and it is indeed an honor to be here with someone that we all love and have enjoyed music for decades, to be here with Billy Joel, and to be chairman of the Joint Committee on the Library of Congress, the oldest joint committee in the Congress. And may I say that Dr. Billington is a national treasure. Thank you, Dr. Billington, for all your work. And to be here with his lovely wife, Marjorie, who we know does all the heavy lifting in the Billington household, and what a sweetheart she is. But I want to say how happy we are to have Billy Joel here, to honor him in this special award with the Gershwin Awards. As a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with 33 top 40 hits, 23 Grammy nominations, including such unforgettable songs as Just the Way You Are, She's Always a Woman, Only the Good Die Young, Uptown Girl, An Innocent Man, and the list goes on and on. Billy Joel will be forever enshrined as the greatest American musician that we just have enjoyed for so long. You know, at the end of this, and all of this, we know this is an honor for a lifetime achievement, not for one song or just a few hits. It is for the work that he has done, and exemplifies the standards of excellence associated with George and Ira Gershwin. You know, I also want to say, as a young man dating a beautiful woman, my wife Sydney, growing up, as we were dating, Billy Joel music going in the background was always a good thing too. So now I I don't want to give away my age, but it was an 8-track. But but I want to say this, what you mean to each one of us here, what you mean to us as we've enjoyed your music over the years. And we would like to present to you an American flag that we have had flown over the United States Capitol in your honor. And it was flown on October 1st, 2014, a special day, as it was on October 1st, 1982, that the song 52nd Street became the first album to be commercially released on compact disc by Sony Music Entertainment. So I'm honored today to present Billy Joel with this flag. If you'll please come forward.
Thank you very much. This is very touching. My mom passed away this year, and she would have loved, I keep seeing this through her eyes now. She would have just gotten such a kick out of this. And I was talking earlier with Dr. Billington about our trip to the Soviet Union back in 1987. He was there and saw us when we played in what is now St. Petersburg, at that time was Leningrad, and was talking about how we may have helped to change things between our countries because of that visit. And we've made a documentary about that trip. It's called A Matter of Trust. I'm not plugging you to go out and buy it or anything, but I don't know if people noticed, before we went on stage, I was not sure how familiar they were with my music in the Soviet Union. I didn't know if they were going to know any of my songs. And we'd look out from behind the stage, and you see these people, a lot of Russians sitting there, kind of grim looking, like who is this guy? You know? Now, to go on stage, we introduced the going on stage moment with George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. And if you watch the documentary, you'll hear the na 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 na, lights go down. And we wanted people to know we're American. This is our stuff, and this is what we're going to give you. I'm going to give George Gershwin, but I wanted to introduce that idea. This is our music. This is who we are. And all of a sudden, you saw the grimness it kind of relaxed a little bit, and it helped the shows, and it made a big difference. And I have to say, those are probably the most exciting concerts that we've ever done. Everything after that has been somewhat anticlimactic, but knowing that I was there with George was a big help. So this means a lot to me. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Billy. At this point in the program, I would like to especially thank Buffy K. Fritz and Dr. Marjorie Fisher for once again sponsoring the Honoree's Luncheon. Marjorie Fisher was unable to join us today. However, Buffy, you have always been an incredible friend to the Library of Congress and a consummate citizen ambassador representing the best of Washington, D.C. We thank you for always putting such an incredible personal and elegant touch on the Honoree's Luncheon and for setting the tone for what is to come through the next 36 hours. And thank you in particular for these extraordinarily beautiful flowers which your florist created for today, along with all else you've done. Buffy K. Fritz, ladies and gentlemen. Every great musical innovator has a star to guide him or her along the way. And for many of us, no star has shined brighter than those of George and Ira Gershwin. The reason that I am here today is because of my association with Ira Gershwin. When I first heard Gershwin music, I was affected in a way that has changed the trajectory of my career, and that is what music and art can do Through an extraordinary series of coincidences, I met Ira Gershwin and spent 6 years working for him, cataloging his work, and thus was lucky enough to become associated with the Library of Congress. And my resolve to stay connected to this organization only strengthens with time, because the importance of keeping everything alive that exists here in this building is more important today than it ever has been before. And of course, Gershwin has become such a part of the vernacular of our country. The lyrics of Ira are spoken as catchphrases. An example of that is many years ago, a comedian Carl Reiner, who was working with Mel Brooks on a television series, was not feeling well. Carl went to the doctor, and when he came back from the doctor, Mel said, "Well, what did the doctor say?" Carl said, "Well, the doctor said, I've got arrhythmia." And Mel said, without missing a beat, "Who could ask for anything more?" With Ira, my relationship became so, is the word symbiotic, that we would have an argument about something that happened in his life, and he'd say, "No, that was 1930. I'd say, "No, it was 1931. And at one point, Ira said, "Well, you have an advantage over me." And I said, "Well, what is that?" He said, "I've only lived my life. You've thoroughly researched it." So that's something that I carry with me, that Ira gave me an education in this music that matters to all of us now. It is because of all of that a great personal privilege to acknowledge the families of George and Ira Gershwin, represented here today by Gene and Mike Strunsky, and Mark Gershwin and his daughter-in-law, Amy Gershwin. I also would like to acknowledge the incredible musical presence we have this afternoon. We have a gentleman who is as fine of a pianist as I have ever heard, and he has been playing melodies for us of our Honoree and the Gershwins and beyond, and he is simply magnificent. Mr. Stefan Schiagiari. Thank you, Stefan. Now to recognize a few additional members of Congress who have joined us today. Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, Vice Chairman of the Joint Committee on the Library of Congress and Chairman of the Senate Rules and Administration Committee for the 113th Congress. Senator Schumer. Congressman John Dingell of Michigan's 12th District is the Dean of the House of Representatives and the longest-serving congressman in American history. He will complete his 59th year of service on December 13th. Congressman Dingell. Member-elect Debbie Dingell is the incoming representative of Michigan's 12th District. Congressman Steve Israel represents New York's 3rd District, including Billy Joel's home on Long Island, and serves as chairman of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Leader Nancy Pelosi of California's 12th District has led the House Democratic Caucus since 2003 and served as the first female Speaker of the House from 2007 until 2011. Nancy. Now I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize our sponsors, their boards of director and guests. Joining us today is AARP, United Airlines, WETA, PBS, and CPB, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Billy, I know that they each have a special message for you, and we're going to begin with Nancy Van Duyne, who is the Vice President of Congressional Affairs for United Airlines. Nancy Van Duyne.
Thank you, Michael. And let me be clear, this is not a hardship. Not only is United Airlines proud to be a sponsor of the 2014 Gershwin Prize for Popular Song, but I am personally thrilled to be the representative of the airline and my 85,000 proud coworkers here in the majestic members' room of the Library of Congress. Who would not want to join in a celebration of Billy Joel's contribution to American music? We all know that music creates memories that are enduring, and I'm certain that if we could take the time to ask, many of you have your own special memories of the music made by Billy Joel, just like the Congressman already mentioned. United is and always has been an enthusiastic patron of the arts, both here in Washington, D.C. and across the country. In particular, United is very proud to sponsor air travel for the 2014 Gershwin Prize for Popular Song, because it means we're flying in the world-renowned artists who will perform and pay tribute to Billy Joel this week. As some of you in the room may have guessed, the connection between the airline and the Gershwin Prize is a natural one. Gershwin's own Rhapsody in Blue is a piece of music that has held a special place in United's history as its iconic signature score since 1987. Even with all the changes in our industry and in our world, we know the opening notes of Rhapsody in Blue, just like the opening notes of Piano Man or Uptown Girl, bring a smile and a warm memory to many across our country. So again, it's a pleasure to be here today and to partner with the library for this important cultural recognition, and it's my honor to introduce Sharon Percy Rockefeller, who is President and CEO of WETA.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are delighted to be a co-producer of this event. WETA has worked with our friends and colleagues at the Library of Congress on several ventures, starting with a television series that Dr. Billington wrote himself, if he recalls, called The Faces of Russia, on the arts and culture of Russia. So we share the common goal of bringing the rich cultural and intellectual treasures of this country to the American people. This is the 6th production of the Library of Congress Gershwin Prize for Popular Song. WETA and the library are both local and national institutions. We know that we have special opportunities and responsibilities as cultural institutions and as national curators of content. This production epitomizes these roles as we celebrate the award today and tomorrow, and then share it with the audiences from coast to coast on January 2nd at 9 p.m. Celebrating the arts of the United States has been a key goal for PBS President and CEO Paula Kerger. Please join me in welcoming her.
Do a sprint up from the back of the room. I am really so very happy to be here. I actually have some notes, but I'm going to actually speak from the heart. Because although I grew up in Baltimore, I lived for 25 years in New York, and I'm a New Yorker, and I was at Channel 13. And your song, Pressure, which you all may laugh for different reasons, was very meaningful to me. And it's so great to work in an institution which obviously you cared about, that you wove into that beautiful song. You have been so much a part of the generation that I belong to, and I am so very proud to be part of a celebration honoring you and bringing your great work to every American. Every American, no matter where they live, what their economic means, will have a front row seat to the concert that we will produce tomorrow night. And how special is it? And how special is it that our whole country can come together to really honor you for your extraordinary talent as a magnificent storyteller, and really the storyteller of our generation. It is a great moment for us, and we are so proud to honor you in this way. Dr. Billington, we talk about this all the time. We really, I think, are in the same business. We just actually use slightly different means of being our country's archive and storyteller, and I'm so grateful to continue our partnership with you. Thank you, Marjorie, for your graciousness. And I want to say a word about the man that's standing behind me, who I think more than anyone else has been solely committed to ensuring that the American Songbook is both understood and connected to everyone. And thank you, Michael, for your work, both as a songwriter, as a performer, but more importantly, the archive that you've created and your commitment to arts education and bringing the songbook to the entire country is really important. Thank you. Thank you.
Very sweet.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce my partner, the president of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Pat Harrison. Pat?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Paula. On behalf of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and the CPB Board of Directors, led by Chair Liz Sembler and Vice Chair Laurie Gilbert, all of whom are here today, I want to thank our host, the Librarian of Congress, Dr. James Billington, and the wonderful Marjorie for bringing us together in this amazing Library of Congress members' room as we celebrate the words and music of Billy Joel, the Library of Congress Gershwin Prize honoree for 2014. And personally, just to thank Buffy Kafritz for all she's done for this great city for so very many years, and of course to Dr. Fisher for their joint sponsorship of this lunch. And how fortunate we are, Michael, to have you as our master of ceremonies. Several years ago, and I may be wrong about this, maybe it was an interview you had in Berlin, you said, you, meaning Billy Joel, you said that musicians and artists, painters, writers, and poets always seem to have had the more accurate perception of what is really going on around them, not the official version or the popular perception of contemporary life. And this accurate perception is reflected throughout all of your songs. If we think of the words in Goodnight, Saigon, and the stirring anthem of the soldiers who will all go down together, who held on to each other like brother to brother, these words capture the reality of the sacrifice not ever conveyed through the official version, and they are words that resonate forever. I grew up, Billy, in Brooklyn, New York. Now I'm just talking to him, but you can all listen. And everyone knows that no one tells and sings the story of New York better than you. But truly, it was after the attack on our country on September 11th, 2001, that we turned to your music for much more than just entertainment. You had already written New York's State of Mind before 9/11, but during the telethon tribute to heroes, you sang this song as such a poignant tribute to our courageous city and really for all Americans. On your piano, as you sang, there was a New York fireman's helmet reminding us of those who ran toward the destruction to help others, and all of whom went down together. So I want to thank you, Billy Joel, for being there for all of us at a time when the entire country held on to each other like brother to brother, embracing a New York state of mind. Thank you. It was quite a day, as we all know. Now, of course, we know that without Gershwin's music, there wouldn't be a prize. So, Michael, I hope the answer is yes. Would you be so kind to treat us to a Gershwin song?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you very much. To me, this bench is unmovable, oh Lord. Oh my God, okay, there we go. To me, there is no better combination than George and Ira Gershwin and Billy Joel. So I'm going to do a Gershwin song, Billy, but this song will contain some of the same notes that you use in your songs. So that's a musician's joke that if this was a room full of musicians would have gotten an uproarious response. Oh well. Okay. This is the last song that the Gershwin brothers wrote together, a song that Ira finished after George's untimely passing at the age of 38. And these words, born out of an extraordinary situation, have given comfort to so many for decades. The more I read the papers, the less I comprehend the world and all its capers, and how it all will end. Nothing seems to be lasting, but that isn't our affair. We've got something permanent, I mean in the way we care. It's very clear our love is here to stay, not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble. They're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble. They're only made of clay, but our love is here, our love is here, our love is here to stay. Dr. Billington is going to join us to say a few words. Dr. James Billington.
It's hard to say anything after that beautiful music. So I would just like to say, first of all, thanks to all of you who are with us, all of you who supported us, and above all, Billy Joel for being with us to inspire us, and Michael, always here to welcome us with words and music. We greatly and especially appreciate Buffy Capris for hosting this lunch. Buffy is a great friend to the library and an enormous ambassador for culture in this city. And I also want to send special thanks to Marjorie Fisher, who could not be with us here today, but has been said, but whose generosity has also helped to make this luncheon possible. When we first began to establish the library's Gershwin Prize, it was with the vision that this award be bestowed upon artists who have created a lifetime of remarkable works that can be recognized and added to America's national patrimony, which by a whole series of directions and visions shared with and advanced by the Congress of the United States over 214 years, can be added to this national patrimony that we acquire, preserve, and try to make accessible for the American people. Billy Joel is a true exemplar of this vision for the library's Gershwin Prize, something that not so much influences us as affects us, because that gets inside you, that steers you in ways you can't even anticipate. And that's what American Song has done, and Billy Joel has embedded us all with his music. So I can say on behalf, I think, of the American people and the representatives they elect, thank you, congratulations to Billy Joel. Billy, we really appreciate your accepting this honor, and I know that this is just the beginning, and we have you on a tight schedule. This is Washington, after all. So I'm going to ask Suzanne Hogan, who has been very much the motivating and driving factor from the Library of Congress's side on helping to put all this together, if she will escort you to help you get away on your way, but not getting away from us. We look forward more than ever to tomorrow night and to continuing what we've tried to honor for you as a lifetime achievement for all of us in America and beyond. Thank you, thank you.
This has been a presentation of the Library of Congress. Visit us at loc.gov.